This is a sixth legal misfit. I didn't come here to be your friend or sing kumbaya. I came here to tell you the truth, even if it offends you.
As countries look towards loosening the pandemic restrictions, we are left with many questions about the virus, specifically where it came from. I will submit to you that the question now should be whether this outbreak was deliberate or was it by accident, an act of war or Chinese incompetence. There's no clear answer, but we do have leads. An intelligence dossier has been leaked. The Five Eye Dossier, a 15-page document from intelligence agencies from the Five Eyes, which is composed of the United States, Canada, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. This dossier was not supposed to be released but has been leaked and obtained by Australia's Daily Telegraph newspaper. The dossier categorically states that China's secrecy amounts to a cover-up and mentions a list of crimes by the Chinese regime. The Five Eye Dossier charges China with the following crimes. Crime number 1. China is being accused of engaging in risky, bad research. Something we have been warned about since January of this year. Scientists and doctors in the Wuhan Institute of Virology lab have been studying bat-derived viruses. 1 out of 50 virus samples found at the Wuhan Virology lab has a 96% genetic match to the genetic makeup of COVID-19 virus. This means that the genetic makeup of COVID-19 matches almost completely that of the sample virus found at the Wuhan lab. A Dr. Shi is mentioned in the dossier, reported to have been worried that her lab was responsible for the virus that has spread. She has since gone missing and has not resurfaced. Crime number 2, creating deadly viruses. The dossier talks about work done by Wuhan-based scientists to synthesize SARS-like coronaviruses. They were created in altering parts of the viruses to see if it could be transmitted from bats to other species. They were examining which proteins were important for such transmission. Crime number 3. China is being accused of hiding early samples. Their suppression of evidence, the destruction of virus samples at labs. The dossier questions why wildlife wet markets were bleached and quickly cleaned for evidence. It questions why doctors have since disappeared. The dossier asks why live virus samples from the first case have not been shared with the world. It points out and questions why research on the subject has to undergo prior review by the Ministry of Science in China. This means that the Chinese Communist Party vexes all research on this subject and nothing escapes its review. And finally, China is accused of destruction of evidence. The dossier states China censored use of virus terms on search engines. We simply could not find them. China deleted coronavirus-related terms from social media. Terms like Wuhan seafood market, Wuhan unknown pneumonia, and any variation of the term SARS. It was all censored by the Chinese regime since December 31st, 2019. This raises questions as to why, having been aware of the possibility of human-to-human transmission of the coronavirus since December, the Chinese government continued to deny it until January 20th. The Five Eye Dossier concluded that China intentionally hid evidence of the coronavirus pandemic. The research is damning, but why did it have to be leaked? And why are the 5 countries not bringing China to accountability? Why is Canada not doing anything about it? What is stopping them? The real question here is, why are you hearing this from the 6th legal misfit and not your Prime Minister? I'll submit to you that Canadians need to wake up.